I have an update on Selvin that I wanted to share with you. And instead of writing it down, I thought this time I would put it in a video for you. Hopefully, a short video, but I do talk a lot, so bear with me. Um, so, I want to give you a little bit of background on what's going on. If you've been following all of our updates on Selvin and not quite gotten the whole story, Selvin is a young man we met 2 weeks ago in the village of El Sauce, which is up in the mountains in the southern region of Guatemala. He's 17 years old, and he has two severe eye infections that have resulted from conjunctivitis that simply wasn't able to be treated. So when we met him, he was in a lot of pain. He wouldn't even lift his head off the table. He was hurting so much, and it really was heart wrenching to talk to his family and kind of realize just how paralyzed they felt because they weren't able to help this young man whose health was seriously being threatened by something that here in the United States we could have easily been able to take care of. And the day after I met Selvin, I was back in Guatemala City with my friend Pastor Alberto, and we were talking about prayer actually. And I had mentioned to him that the only time that I had prayed in English during my 3 days up in the village was when I had met Selvin. And the reason was because I didn't want to miss a single word in in praying for this kid. And I just didn't. I know that God knows our hearts, but I needed to be able to communicate the words in my heart effectively. And so when I told Alberto this story, he said, "Hey, I know somebody in Quilapa that might be able to help this young man." And so it began a chain of events involving the hospital in Quilapa, two of our board members in Guatemala City, Alberto and also Pastor Byron, and our field coordinator for Ancora Ministries, Xiomara, who works in Quilapa. So it took us several days to kind of get things coordinated, but it was just amazing to go from feeling so powerless about this kid who you just look at him and you're thinking, man, he's got his whole life ahead of him. And because of lack of financial resources and opportunity, something that should have been an inconvenience is potentially life threatening, and there's nothing we can do. Of course, there is something that we can do, and we could, and we did, and you did, and that is pray. And so often we think of prayer as the thing that we do as a last resort when we're desperate. And we definitely should pray when we're desperate. But prayer is not a last resort, well, nothing else is going to work activity. Prayer is a primary activity. It is a way to get aligned with God. And I think align our desires with his desires, and then also to open ourselves to what he might possibly enable us to do. And because of so many prayers from so many people, we began to see a path forward for Selvin, and Xiomara did so much of the legwork in finding an eye specialist in Guatemala City, in getting him an appointment. And as you know, we had an appointment scheduled for Wednesday that had to be rescheduled for today, and they made it today. He was there before 8 o'clock, and he's done with his appointment, and that's the best part I want to share with you guys. So we are not sure that his left eye can be saved, but we were pretty sure it couldn't be before today. And now there is some hope that the medicine they gave him today could possibly enable them to save his left eye. They also gave him medicine for his right eye, which is not nearly as bad off as his left eye. And they believe that if he takes his medicine faithfully, that his right eye is going to be fine. And he's got another appointment on Monday back with the specialist in Guatemala City to see how his eyes reacted to the medicine over the weekend. And we'll have a better idea Monday of what we're looking at going forward. But just to get these reports from Xiomara today, and she sent me a picture of him. And in the picture, he was smiling. when we met him 2 weeks ago, his head hurt so bad that he wouldn't even lift it off the table. He just had his head buried in his arms on the table. So to see him looking at the camera and smiling and having hope was the best moment of my day. And I want to thank you, friends, for praying for Selvin, for interceding for him, and ask you to keep praying for him this weekend. And I don't know, what the end of the story is, but I do know that God's writing the story, and we continue to trust in Him. And also, one of the lessons for me was this. I think that particularly as Americans, we want to take hold of a situation and control it and fix it. And this was so not possible for me, which, if you know me, I like to be in control of things anyway, right? So to have to say, Lord, this is in your hands, this is what I can do. Show us what steps we can take, and please just look after this young man, and to know that he has been and is, and it's just a great thing. And so I'm not going to write the end of the story. That is yet to be seen, but God continues to be a faithful God, and we have really great friends as a part of our organization in Guatemala, and I just can't say enough about Pastor Byron, Pastor Alberto, Silmara, the things that are happening through Ancora Ministries in Guatemala. They're not because of me. They're because God has put a wonderful, amazing team of people and friends with us, and so I'm rambling. I'm going to stop rambling and say I will keep you posted with shorter updates once I know more on Monday. But thank you again, and keep praying for Selvin.